Perfect.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I just wanted to talk about my future plans and mods that I'd like to do to my Evo 10. Now I am pretty happy with the car looks wise. It's come a long way. I actually got it completely stock, and I have every mod you see on the car is what I have done. So I will throw a photo up of before and after. So yeah, it's coming along. I'm really happy with the looks. I did actually just pick up this carbon boot or trunk, whatever you'd like to call it. So you'll see that in one of my previous videos where I installed that, and also another video where I polished and ceramic coated it just to protect it the best I could from the sun, being that my car is a daily driver and sometimes at work I park out in the sun, so I really want to keep the clear on that looking its best. But yeah, like I said, I'm very happy with the looks of the car. So there's not a whole lot more coming in that sort of side of things, but there is always more. As you know, with any car, there's always more to come. So I thought I'll put the GoPro on my head, go for a bit of a drive, and just sort of talk about the car, how it's coming along, and what I would like to do next. Okay guys, so for the future plans for the car, my main focus at the moment is to get my SST transmission rebuild. So if you watched my previous videos, you would have heard me talk about that. But even more so, if you watched my Lakeside Happy Laps track event video, where I had the GoPro recording while I was doing a few laps at the track, you would have seen in that a few times where I shifted where the clutches just slipped really bad. So it is getting worse, which, yeah, I've been expecting. I went to talk to Alan at AK Racing, who is the sort of SST transmission, or Evo 10 and Rally Art, I guess, specialist in Brisbane, Australia, where I live. So I went and talked to Alan. It was over a year ago now, about that my clutches were starting to slip, got him to take the car for a drive, and he said it's fine for now, they're definitely slipping or showing early signs of slipping, but you'll get another year out of them. And at the time I was just about to put my exhaust manifold on and change over to E85 with new injectors and fuel pump. So he said, still go ahead and do that, you'll be fine. The factory clutches will be fine at 300 kilowatts at the wheels, which is 400 horsepower for anyone who goes by horsepower. So yeah, I was only at just over 200 kilowatts at the time. So it's now on, with the extra mods that I've done and the E85, it's now at 258 kilowatts at the wheels, which is, I think, just around 350 horsepower at the wheels, somewhere around that. So yeah, it's starting to slip a lot more. I do daily drive the car, so yeah, that's getting to be annoying sometimes, and I want to sort of take off fast, say at an intersection. This first to second shift will sometimes be a bit slippy, and go usually okay at wide open throttle, it shifts fine, but I really like it just to be working perfectly at all times, be able to use the launch control feature again. My tuner did actually also give me the spark cut launch control, so it actually builds boost off the line now rather than once you take off, which is what the normal Evo 10 launch control has from factory. So I haven't actually been able to test that out because, yeah, he obviously gave that to me in the tune, which was when my clutches were already slipping. So to prolong the life, I've just never used it. I've sat there and revved and checked out how it would work, but I've never actually launched with it. So whenever I do take off in the car, I kind of baby it a bit, just wait till it's going before I actually go all out on the throttle. So yeah, that is a bit of a annoying part about the car at the moment. So I am looking forward to getting that fixed. I'm hoping to get away with just doing clutches and the shift fork and just a few seals and whatever else that AK Racing recommends. So I'm hoping to get away around the $5,000 mark with that. I know if you get a whole new gearbox, or even just like everything rebuilt in the gearbox, keeping the same one but just all rebuilt, you're looking at, you know, $7,000-8,000. As great as that would be, I am at the moment trying to save for a house with my fiance, so spending $8,000 on rebuilding the gearbox isn't the smartest choice. But at the same time, while it's apart, it'd be good to get as much done as possible and sort of, you know, have it like new again. But other than that, for actual mods, I do have a couple of parts on the way, like I said at the start. So for Valentine's Day, which is gone by now, my fiance actually ordered me an APR carbon fibre radiator cooling tray. So she has one of those on her rally art, and I really like the look of it. My factory cooling tray, it's started to sort of stick up at one side, over towards the passenger side, which is really annoying when you have the bonnet popped, and you're sort of looking at the engine bay, which I've done a lot of work painting things and tidying everything up with the wire tucks. So it's really annoying me that that's sort of sticking up and ruins the look. So yeah, obviously replacing it with the carbon fibre APR one will be a nice look, as well as it's a lot lighter, and with my FQ400 vent that I have in the front bar and the intake style setup I have, once I have that APR tray, it will actually be forcing air straight into the pod filter, which is definitely a good thing. So yeah, I've got that on the way thanks to her. I've got a catch can sitting at home, which I'm waiting to install. Unfortunately, when I received it, I didn't get the bracket that comes with it to actually hold it in place. It was missing out of the box for whatever reason. So I'm waiting on that to arrive. That should probably come with the APR tray. I was ordered from the same shop. So yeah, those two will be going in. The catch can I should mention, is a radium catch can. I just got the single one. As much as I'd love to get the Driven Fab catch can, which is the coolant overflow bottle as well, replacement, I've painted my coolant overflow bottle black. It doesn't look too bad now, I don't mind it. So yeah, I'm gonna just go on with the radium, as the Driven Fab seems to be a nightmare to get in stock, and is quite a bit more expensive. So yeah, I've got those coming. After getting the carbon boot or trunk recently, I really would like to get a few more carbon pieces to sort of finish the car off. So I do have the carbon hood scoop, so now I really need to get the carbon vents, so the bonnet has all carbon rather than just some, and maybe a couple of other little carbon fibre pieces, nothing crazy. But I didn't really plan on doing any more exterior mods, so just the carbon fibre vents is going to be plenty for now. I really like the way the car looks. So other than that, got the gearbox and those few pieces on the way, plus the carbon vents that I'll probably be buying next. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the power majority of the time. So yeah, like I said, it's 258 kilowatts of the wheels. If it had clutches that didn't slip, it would be a lot more fun. I sort of feel like I have to take it a bit easier at times on it, just to, you know, because it's my daily driver. I don't want to just be beating on it all the time and have the clutches just go. So I, yeah, wait for it to be completely warmed up. At the moment, it's still not 100% warmed up, so I can't really go beating on the transmission. I can just sort of do sort of half pulls, I guess you could say. I don't want to go wide open throttle when it's not completely warm, especially with the clutches in their way out. So yeah, with the power being where it is, I am quite happy with it. It's pretty quick. I'd love to do some 0 to 100 times, or 0 to 60 miles. That's how you go with those. So I'd love to record some of those once I get the transmission redone, when I can actually use the launch control, because I feel like when I have done a few launches without recording them, just before even I went to 98, but after I got, before I went to, sorry, E85, I got the 98 tune done, and I had the new exhaust manifold. I changed my intake up, and it, yeah, with the retune with that, and then trying to do a few sort of half launches, I got a decent 0 to 100 time that I recorded. So yeah, I was very happy with that. So yeah, I on the car have full bolt-ons with the stock turbo, other than the intercooler and the lower intercooler piping. So it sounds good, it goes good. I would like to possibly look at doing a bigger turbo. Nothing too large. Like, I really like the way the stock turbo spools, so I would like to, as much as I like the stock turbo, a little bit more power at the top end would be good. So something like the GT Pumps 712 turbo, which is just a stock frame turbo that spools about 1,000 RPM later than mine, going off my friend's dyno sheet who has one, but holds the power for an extra 1,000 RPM. So it's a trade-off. Like, do I want more top-end power for a daily driver, but to lose 1,000 RPM down low of spool? I'm unsure. The other turbo I really like the look of, and that my tuner has recommended me, is the it's the Blausch, I think it's pronounced Blausch, Dominator 2.0 turbo. So I have another friend with one of those. He made, I think it was 288 kilowatts of the wheels, just on E85 with full bolt-ons, so very similar setup to mine if I was to just put that turbo in. And he ran an 11.8 second quarter mile with that. That's, I feel, what I'd like to do, but I definitely want to weigh up with my tuner sort of what I would lose in low down power. So if you look at my dyno sheet, it's I'm running about 26 or 27 PSI, and at 3,000 RPM, pretty much 2,900 RPM, I'm making about 25 PSI. Whereas when I look at the dyno sheets on the Blausch turbo and the GTP 712, which my friends have, their turbos are at 24 PSI, a full 1,000 RPM later than mine. So yeah, it's kind of, it's a toss-up whether I would prefer to keep the early spool that I really like, but then lose power earlier, lose boost at sort of 5,800 RPM, 6,000 RPM, whereas they build all the way through to, you know, above 7,000. So yeah, I'm weighing that up at the moment. If I did the turbo, I'd also have to do the intercooler. So everywhere that I've heard, the stock Evo intercooler is the best bet to keep spool in the stock Evo Turbo setup, so it's perfectly designed to go together. So I've been tempted to buy a few aftermarket intercoolers that have popped up for sale, but yeah, everywhere that I look, it seems that I'm better off keeping what I have. So I will be keeping the stock intercooler for now. Yeah, the car drives really well. I just really want to get these clutches fixed. I'm happy with the paint. I did a full paint correction myself about 9 months ago and ceramic coated the car, so the paint always looks shiny. It's actually filthy at the moment, but in the footage I shot at the start, it probably looks clean, as it always seems to in video with the ceramic coating. So happy with the body kit, like the aero kit that I've got. Everything's kind of looking really good and coming together. So interior, I've got these paddles, I've just got these gauges and this Android head unit, plus a couple of little carbon pieces. So I'm happy with all that. Yeah, I love the car. I want to keep modding it. There'll be little things to come always, but I think, yeah, the main things will be just getting that transmission done. And then after that's done, once I have the house that I'm saving for, I'll probably look at doing the turbo. And then who knows, I'll probably go crazy and want to put cams in and sort of start putting more and more power through it. The car does have quite a few kilometers on it now, so it's actually at 161,000 kilometers, and being my daily, it's going up a lot every year. So I've had the car for around 5.5 years now, and yeah, bought it with just under 80,000, so I've doubled that. So yeah, it's a great car. I do have some more plans for it, but we'll just have to see how we go. Hopefully when I get the clutches done, I can sort of sit down with Alan at AK Racing and talk about the options and see if I can get a video on that for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys that watch have the Rally Arts and the Evo 10 MRs with this transmission, and it's always good to find out what breaks, what parts need to be replaced at certain times. So yeah, I'll try and do a video on that when the time comes. For now it's still driving okay, so I don't really want to go spending the money on it yet. I would like to hold out and see if I can get the house first, but if my gearbox does completely break or gets, you know, unbearable, I'll just have to use the money and get a rebuild. But yeah, so I think that's about everything I wanted to touch on today. So really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and really hope you guys are enjoying the channel. I've only been making videos since the start of December in 2019, now being the end of February. I'm just about to hit 300 subscribers, so I'm really blown away with that. Getting a lot of comments and some good view numbers on my videos, so I just want to thank you all for watching. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. It would really help. I have a bit of a goal for the channel for this year, so yeah, it's looking really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I will try and get better cameras and better editing software as the time comes, but for now I'm just sort of learning how to do it all. Never really made videos before, so trying to get better each time. But yeah, so that will be the end of the video. Really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.